Hey guys, I'm back. Um, but anyway, what I was gonna say, these last two guns that I bought, one of them, one of them is a gun that I've been trying to find for 6 months, not been able to find it. I kind of tell you guys the whole story, and like I said, guys, I don't know, I feel like a heel for even trying to make excuses, because I know what I've done wrong. But we're putting an engine in a truck, which I think I mentioned it to some of you guys. We're putting an engine in a truck for a coal company. Okay, and we were looking and we thought an engine was going to cost us $1,000, a used engine. Okay. At this time, this is the time before I had the extra guy working for us right now, which most of you guys know about. So I thought I was going to pay $500 for another shop to actually change the engine for us. That's the way we were going to do it, because my shop's really not equipped to change engines. That's one thing we don't do. Well, anyway, since I've got this extra guy working right now anyway, I said, well, I'll just use him and let him change this engine. I'll borrow some equipment to do it with. So that's what I did. Plus, I found an engine for this truck for $450 instead of $1,000. So anyway, I saved $1,000 that I had put up, that I had put back, and I try to keep a little bit of money put up to run the shop on, to buy things that I just normally can't afford. So I took this $1,000, or not? No, actually I didn't take 1,000. I'm sorry, guys. I took my payday. I took out of my payday for 2 weeks, I think, and then I think I took about $300 or $400 out of that anyway, and bought the gun that I bought. I bought a Sig Sauer P229 Elite Dark is what I bought. That's the new gun. I was going to make a video on it. To be honest about it, guys, I've got so out of heart with all this stuff that I don't know if I'll ever make another gun vid. But it seems like every time, I had this problem back when I first started doing my vids. There was a guy on the Sold Out to Jesus channel with us, which actually I don't think he's on there anymore, that actually made a video making fun of me. I mean, he said it was all in fun, but you can tell when somebody's really trying to hurt you and when they're not. And his vid was up for like 2 hours, and then he took it down. He got so much heat from other people that he took it down. But anyway, I come a here leaving YouTube. I'm not gonna lie. And I know people should say, "Oh, you shouldn't take this stuff to heart and all this." But guys, this is something I do to reach people for the Lord first. I mean, I admit that. But we also do it for fun. I don't have to be on here. I take enough abuse from people in my real life. I don't. And if I'm not, I'm not. If I can't satisfy, internet people, then I'm just sorry. I'll just leave. It's the way I feel about it. But anyway, I'm not saying that I'm going to leave now, maybe. But anyway, no, I'm not going to. But anyway, this guy actually made a video that I'm not going to lie, like I said, it hurt me. And, but, like I said, I can see where people get that from, me talking about needing. And guys, just to be honest about it too, I'm one of these people, I worry about things. I mean, I do. I pray for God's guidance with it every day, but I worry. And most things I worry about, as the old Tom Petty song says, I don't know which song it was of his, but I remember it saying, most things I worry about never happen anyway, and that's the truth. A lot of times I'll come on here and I'll ask for your guys' prayers for financial problems that in my head are really crushing and going to destroy me. And then, what a time for an HP update. But anyway, when everything works out, I'm not in near as bad a shape as I thought I was going to be in. Now, count that to me, overreacting or being worrisome, or usually it's just, the Lord makes a miracle for me. I mean, just to be honest about it. And I am learning to trust Him and lean on Him more every day. But anyway, guys, that's what I'm saying. A lot of times You know, I'm asking for your guys' prayers on this stuff because I think it's going to happen, and most of the time it don't. So most of the time, you know, I'm not in near as bad a financial shape as I think I'm going to be. And like I said, when the Lord blesses me, you know, and that's another thing too, guys. Yeah, I'm not like most of you guys that are fortunate enough to be working. I mean, I know some of you are not. You know, I don't have a 401k. I don't have a retirement. You know what my 401k is and my retirement is? It's sitting over there in that safe. You know, guns are one of the best investments that you can make, period. And, you know, if the crap hits the fan, as they say, you know, if this world gets a whole lot worse, you know, hopefully when it gets very bad, the Lord will have us taken out of here, us believers. But, you know, as it is, like I said, you know, every one of these guns that I've bought new, I could sell right now and get my money back. And if things get bad enough, you know, I'm not going to let my family starve to keep a gun. You know, but, you know, if the stuff hits the fan, you know, one day a gun, you'll be able to get a year's worth of food for a gun. Count on it. So you can never go wrong buying guns, keeping guns. And, you know, the last gun I bought, I was just telling you guys about the 6 Hour, you know, and I think that's what sparked a few people. I think that's what sparked me getting some of my messages, my private messages. You know, I said that I had bought 2 guns over the last few days. Well, I did. You guys want to, I just told you about my first gun, the SIG P229 Elite Dark. You know what my second gun was? A Smith & Wesson Sigma 40 caliber. I bought it off of a guy that needed the money to buy food for his kids and his grandkids, and I bought it off of him for $200. You know, it's not a $900 gun or a $1,000 gun, so I don't know, guys. Like I said, I'm sorry if I've let you guys down. Maybe the best thing for me to do is just shut my mouth anymore and not even talk about the other stuff. You know, I'll just get on here and read scripture. And like I said, I know there's going to be one guy in particular that's going to think I'm talking about him that left a comment on one of my vids. But I had got several other messages from other people. Actually, most of the people I got messages from are not my normal viewers. So maybe I shouldn't worry about them. But like I said, guys, I just, you know, I don't want nothing to be between us. And, you know, and I do. You know, sometimes I feel like a dog, you know, when I buy a gun. But, you know, the Lord's always got me through so far. And like I said, you know, I don't know what else to do. You know, like I said, I meet all my obligations. I pay my tithes at church. I pay all my bills, and then I buy a gun. You know, and like I said, my dad won't let me give my money back to the company anyway. So, you know, the way I see it sometimes, you know, I don't know. Buying a gun is better than buying a pill and snorting it up your nose. I mean, that's the way I've looked at it. I may be wrong. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to tell you guys this. I love you guys. You know, and if I've misled anybody, if I've hurt anybody, I'm just looking at my timer. If I've hurt anybody, you know, if you guys think I'm a hypocrite, or if you think, you know, I don't know, whatever you think, you know, if you think I'm a bad person for these things, then, you know, I'm sorry. I'll try to do better. You know, like I said, I don't know. It's my problem. It's, you know, my timer's going off, so I'm about to run out of time. But anyway, guys, like I said, I just, you know, I'm sorry. I'll leave these vids up for maybe for a few days and then take them back down, just to, you know, let you guys see it, just to say I'm sorry. And like I said, if I've hurt anybody or anything like that, I am sorry. And like I said, I'll just, you know, I'll you know, I won't, you know, I don't know. I'll just be careful next time. I'll be careful not to make myself, or more importantly, make the Lord look bad. So anyway, guys, I just want to thank you guys for watching. Like I said, God bless. If I've offended anybody, I'm sorry. See you later. Bye.